Welcome to Glitched, I'm Francisco Lozano, and it's time for your weekly wrap-up. Nintendo is joining the DLC craze. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will have a DLC season pass. Now this is the first time ever that Nintendo has released a season pass along with any of their games. The pass will go on sale along with the game's release on March 3rd. Content from the pass will be broken up into 3 parts. The first includes 3 new treasure chests and will be available at launch. The second part, coming in summer of 2017, includes a new Cave of Trials challenge, hard mode, and an additional map feature. The final piece of the pass will include a new dungeon, new original story content, and some unspecified additional challenges. This last edition will make its way to players in the winter of this year. Nintendo has made it very clear that these expansions only come with the purchase of the season pass. No individual purchases will be allowed. There's another company making their way into the modern age in our second disappointing development of the day. Hasbro, the big company behind Monopoly, has made the decision that will hurt us all. The thimble will be discontinued. After 80 years of love, the thimble will now be retired from its position as a game token after coming in last place in a poll run by the company asking players' favorite pieces. This haunting incident is very similar in nature to the 2013 incident involving pushing the iron off the board for good. 4 years ago, a similar post was run and caused the classic iron to be replaced by a cat. And while I love cats, I'm torn by this change. And that was the iron people. Now they're messing around with the sacred thimble. These killings are only the result of the aging game working to modernize to appeal to a younger generation. The thimble will disappear from our lives after a new replacement is announced on March 19th. Some of the possibilities from an earlier poll made by the company include a penguin, a TV, and an emoji-style Mr. Monopoly. And if that wasn't bad enough, look at this awful video they put about concerning the event. They didn't even make a good pun. No respect, Hasbro, no respect. Now, from the death of a beloved part of history to a game that just will not die no matter how little we care about it anymore, this week Pokemon Go updated itself to include all of the Generation 2 Pokemon. For all of you that haven't spent their whole lives playing every Pokemon game possible, here's what that means. Generation 2 or Gen 2 Pokemon are the new Pokemon that appeared in Gold and Silver versions of the game. Gold and Silver are the iterations of the Pokemon games that came out after the very first set of games, Red and Blue. The update will be adding around 80 new Pokemon to the game, including 2 more of Eevee's evolutions. Don't think that there will be a cheat, or at least such an obvious one for these versions, unlike their predecessors. There's no anime episodes giving these guys super type-related names. But just in case, I've come up with a few names for the new evolutions. Umbreon, a dark type, could be My Power Bill, and Espeon, the psychic type, should be something like My Mom and Anytime I Ask About Money. Wait, quick update. Since just literally saying that, a new exploit has been found for the new evolutions. Naming an Eevee, Sakura, will result in receiving an Espeon, and naming one Tomeo will get you an Umbreon. I kind of think my names are better, but it's whatever. Now, Pokemon Go is making news once again, but will it really matter at the end of the day? Now, here's a nostalgic release that I can get behind. On Thursday of this week, Activision announced that Crash Bandicoot Remastered Edition will be hitting shelves come June 30th of this year. The updated version of the game will include new animations and lighting, updated cinematics for 4K displays, and for the PlayStation 4 Pro. Plus, there's finally a checkpoint and saving system being put into place, which is kind of crap. You play the game like a real gamer, without a memory card in the safe slot, playing for 6 hours straight hoping that the power doesn't go out or that your system won't overheat. You finish the game with honor and a stress-induced hernia like the rest of us. But yeah, the updated version of the game will cost $39.99 at release. So you guys remember the Sword, right? Well, Cup Noodle and Final Fantasy have pushed the weird just farther. The new DLC for the game has been announced with a commercial featuring Cup Noodle everywhere. The video starts out serious and changes into a Cup Noodle parody of the game, replacing key game locations and items with objects of the instant ramen variety. Here's an image of one of the changes that will be made by the DLC. Ooh, poor Noctis. Look, it's what become of you, my prince. The DLC as of right now will not have a wide release, but will be found as a code in Cup Noodle's limited edition Final Fantasy 30th Anniversary Noodle Cups. As mentioned back a couple weeks ago on the wrap-up, this collector's item is a $60 box of instant ramen with Final Fantasy bosses printed on them. So with the purchase of one of these sets, you get to be entered into a raffle to win one of 30 swords, 15 cups of noodle that someone will probably eat and ruin your chances of selling them for hundreds down the road, and one in-game acid trip featuring cups of noodle as your main focus. I mean, that sounds pretty good, right? At least to me it does. Now, on a less weird note, Sony is dumping the PlayStation Now right now. Actually, it won't be till August, but that's beside the point. Now, just to be clear, not all PlayStation Now services are going to be cut off. Just those for the PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, Sony Blu-ray players, all Samsung TVs, and any 2013-15 Bravia TVs. As of August 15th of this year, the services will only be available for PlayStation 4 and Windows PC users. This change is not that surprising considering that it's been almost 3.5 years since the PlayStation 4's release. Phasing out when it comes to old hardware is inevitable. Honestly, I'm surprised more services already haven't been let go, especially with the Vita in the American market. Sorry Sony, but nobody wants it! Just let it go! Now it's time to bring this thing full circle and talk about Breath of the Wild again. I guess more like full triangle makes more sense with the Triforce and all, but you get me. In a new video posted on Nintendo's Japanese YouTube channel, fans get a glimpse at some of what's to come in the upcoming game. In the video, we see Link using his telescope to peep on all the animals in the game's mighty ecosystem. We see him stand on top of a mountain without moving for about 12 hours or so, displaying the game's day and night cycles, climbing trees to forage for food, and running around in bad weather and possibly dying. Now, minus that last one, Link is kind of sounding like that weird kid down the street we weren't supposed to play with. Getting past that imagery, it was nice to see another view of the classic hero and this beautiful game a bit ahead of release. So are you guys gonna pay $20 for the Zelda DLC? Does Final Fantasy's obsession disturb you, and in what way? Well, let us know in the comments down below. I'm about to paint my sign for the protest that's about to happen outside of Hasbro. Thimbles for life! But remember to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all your gaming and tech news. This was Glitch, and I'll see you next time. What is that Smash Mouth song? She looks so dumb with her finger and thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't start coming. Back to the rules as we hit the ground running.